Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic called numbers and sequences. So, name of the topic is numbers and sequences. Under this topic, today what we are going to learn is one of the familiar theorem called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. The name of the theorem is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Without proof, we are going to learn this theorem. So for this theorem, we don't have proof. Straight away, we can see about the statement. Let me read the statement now. Every natural number except 1 can be factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique except for the order in which the prime factors are written. Let me read the statement once again. Every natural number except 1 can be factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique except for the order in which the prime factors are written. Before I explain about the statement of the theorem, I would like to recall about natural numbers, prime numbers, and also about composite numbers. First we will see about natural numbers. The number which we are counting naturally is called what? Natural number. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So those number series are called what? Natural numbers. Then we will talk about prime numbers. Here is the definition of the prime numbers. A number other than 1 which is either divisible by 1 or itself. I have given some examples here. For example, I am saying 5 is a prime number. Obviously, 5 is divisible by 1, and also 5 is divisible by only 5. So that 5 is called what? Prime number. So I am taking another example, 11. 11 is divisible by 1, and also that 11 is only divisible by 11. So those kinds of numbers are called what? Prime numbers. That is a number other than 1 which is either divisible by 1 or itself. Now we will turn about composite numbers. Okay. Other than prime numbers are called what? Composite numbers. Other than prime numbers, so those numbers are called what? Composite numbers. Now I am going to explain about the statement of the theorem. Every natural number, as we all know that, what do you mean by natural number? The number starts with 1. Okay, from that series except 1, we should neglect 1. All the numbers can be taken into the account. So that means 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Okay, so all those numbers can be factorized as a product of prime numbers. See, for example, I have taken one number 6. So I found the prime factorization for 6. So what are the numbers? Obviously 2 and 3. 2 is a prime number, 3 also is a prime number. Okay, so that is the meaning of first two line. That is, every natural number can be expressed in a product of prime numbers. Okay, then, and this factorization is unique, and the factorization is unique. So whoever it may be, the factors of 6 will be what? 2 and 3 only. No other number will take place. That is the meaning of unique. Okay, except for the order in which the prime factors are written. That means, see, some people will say that 2 and 3 are the prime factors of 6. Some people will say 3 and 2 are the prime factors of 6. So that is what they mentioned here, except for the order. The number will remain same, but the order is not mentioned. That is what they have given. Now we are going to observe the general structure for this concept. So first I am going to take one composite number. Let it be n. I am taking a composite number and I am decompose that composite number into three numbers. Say for example x1, x2, x3. Again I am taking this x1, I am decomposing it in a two number. Let it be y1, y2. Again I am taking x2, I am decomposing that number as y3, y4. Again the same for what also? x3, I am getting y5, y6. Okay. So if possible, I can take what also y1 and I am decomposing it in two numbers. That number may be what also? Composite number, or it may also be composite number or prime number. You want to observe that if you get a prime number, when you decompose it, if you get a prime number, that system will not continue furthermore. That step there itself it will get ends. So here also y2 I am decomposing it as a numbers. So if suppose if I get that as a prime number, the system will stop here itself. It will continue for y6 for the last term also. That is, in general, we conclude that given a composite number n, we decompose it uniquely in the form of what? N is equal to p1 to the power q1 into p2 to the power q2 into p3 to the power q3 into and so on, pn to the power qn, where p1, p2, pn are prime numbers and those q1, q2, q3 are the natural numbers. To understand this theorem in a better way, I have brought you one example here. Okay, let us see that example. So I have taken one number 1092. I am doing the prime factorization method. So I am writing this 1092 like 2 times of 546. Here 2 is a prime number, 546 is a composite number. Now I am taking this 546. Again I am following the same method. I am writing 546 as what? 3 times of 182. Again I am writing this 182 like 2 times of 91. So I am taking this 91. I am writing that number as what? 7 times of 13. Okay, now this 1092 can be written like 2 into 3 into 2 into 7 into 13. I observed that 2 occurs how many times? 2 times. So I wrote that number as what? 2 power 2 into 3 power 1 into 7 power 1 into 13 power 1. Okay, so we can write this 1092 in terms of like this. Okay, thus in whatever way we try to factorize, see, for example, the same number 1092, but here I have started with what? 3 times of 364. I am taking this 364 7 times of 52. I am taking this 52 2 times of 26. I am taking this 26 2 times of 13. So if I follow this method also, the same numbers only I am getting. 2 2 times. So here 2 2 times, 3 1 time. So here 3 1 time, 7 1 time. So 7 1 time, 13. So 13 also is there. So that is what they have mentioned here. In whatever way we try to factorize 1092, we should finally get what? 2 2's, 1 3, 1 7, 1 13. Okay. The fact that every composite number can be written uniquely as a product of primes is called what? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we have important two results. The first result is, if a prime number p divides AB means A into B. A is a number, B is another number. The product is AB. Then either P divides A or P divides B, that is P divides at least any one of them. So let me explain this result with one small example. Okay, I am taking one number 5. We all know that 5 is a prime number, say P. Okay, so I am taking a product AB, that is 35, is divisible by P. We all know that this 35 is what? Divisible by 5. Okay, so instead of A I can assume 5, instead of B I can assume what? 7. So in the place of A I am writing 5, in the place of B I am writing 7. That is 5 into 7 is what? 35. So in this example, clearly P divides A. What is P actually? 5. What is A actually? 5. So P divides A. That means 5 divides 5. They have given no in the statement, P divides at least any one of them. So one of the number is what here? 5. So that number P divides any one of the number, that is 5. So here the results proved. Now we are going to see about the second result. Let me read the statement of the second result first. If a composite number n divides AB, AB is nothing but what? Product of two numbers. The numbers are A and B. Okay, then n neither divide A nor B. Let me explain this result with one small example. I have taken one number, that is 6 I have taken. We all know that 6 is what number? Composite number. Okay, the name of 6 is what? N. Okay, so I am taking AB is equal to 12. AB is equal to 12. As we all know that A is one number, B is one number. Their product is what? 12. So, in the place of A, I can take 4. In the place of B, I can take what? 3. So that 4 3s will become what? 12. So, we know that AB is divisible by N. What is AB? This 12 is AB is divisible by N. What is N? 6. This 12 is what? Divisible by 6. It is obvious. Okay. So in the place of A, I am taking 4. In the place of B, I am taking 3. So 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So what is A? 4. What is B? 3. Okay. So now I am taking this N. N is what? 6. So we are observing that the 6 is not divide 4, and also the same 6 is not divide what? 3. So that is what they have given. This N neither divide A nor B. That means what? This number 6, the composite number 6 will not divide 4, will not divide what also? 3. That is what given in the second result. Before ending the session, I would like to recall the concepts which we have seen so far. Okay, the first concept which we have seen was fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Every natural number except 1 can be factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique except for the order in which the prime factors are written. This is the first concept which we have seen. Okay. So nextly, we have seen some important results. First result was if a prime number P divides AB, then either P divides A or P divides B. That is, P divides at least one of them. So second result was if a composite number N divides AB, then N neither divide A nor B. Okay, I hope you all understood the concepts which we have seen so far. So based on these concepts, I have given you a worksheet which contains 10 multiple choice questions. So before start to work out worksheet, kindly go through all the concepts which we have seen so far, understand well, go through well, and try to work out the worksheet on your own. I wish you very all the best, children. May God bless you. Now, the basic concepts which we have learnt so far, so all those concepts we are going to use to solve some of the sums in exercise 2.2. So in that case, I have given my first sum. Find HCF of 252525 and 363636. We want to find the HCF of the given two number. So we all know the definition of the HCF. What we mean by HCF? The greater number which divides the each of the given number without remainder. Okay. So let us proceed this sum by using what method? Prime factorization method. Okay. So I have taken my first number. What is the first number? 252525. Okay. So I found my first factor is what? 5. So if I taken by 5, what I will get? 50505. So again my another factor 5. 10101. Now I am going to take by 3. So I will get 3367. So if I take with 7, what I will get? 481. So again by 13. So what I will get? 37. So you can note that all the numbers which I have considered as a factors, all those factors are what numbers? Prime numbers. That is, they are prime factors. Okay. In the same way, I have taken my another number 363636. So my first factor is 2. I am getting 181818. Again I am taking by 2. I am getting 90909. I am taking by 3. 30303. I am taking by 3. I am getting 10101. If I take by 3, I am getting 3367, and also by 7 I am getting 481. Finally I am taking by 13. At last I am getting what? 37. Here we are observing that 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 7, 13, 37. All those numbers are what? Prime numbers. So I can write this 252525 in terms of 5 into 5 into 3 into 7 into 13 into 37. So in the same way, 363636 can be written as what? 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 7 into 13 into 37. Now I am finding the common factors. What are the common factors? 3 is my common factor, so I am writing that here, and 7, so I have written here. 13, so I have written here 13 separately, and 37. So these are the 4 common factors of these two numbers. Okay, so if I multiply them, 3 into 7 into 13 into 37, I am getting what? 10101. So this is the number, that is 10101 is the HCF of given two numbers. Now we are going to see the another method to find HCF of those two numbers. The same number I am taking, 363636, the bigger number I am naming that as A, the smaller number 252525 I have named as what? B. In last exercise, that is exercise 2.1, you would have learnt about Euclid's division algorithm. Euclid's division algorithm to find HCF. So what is the general format? A is equal to BQ plus R. Okay, this Q is what? Quotient. R is what? Remainder. A is what? Dividend. B is what? Divisor. Okay, so now we will proceed this. So what format we want to follow? A is equal to BQ plus R. What is A? A is 363636 is equal to what is your divisor? B, that is 252525. How many times? It is only one time. So divisor into quotient, that is one time. What would be the remainder? 1. So I observed that the remainder is what? Not equal to 0. So now again I am taking this divisor here. Again I am following this. So 252525 is equal to, what is the remainder? 1. So how many times it is there? 2 times. So 2 times of this number, plus what is the remainder I am getting? 30303. Now I am observing that the remainder is what? Not 0. So again I am following, I am repeating the same one. So I am taking this number, that is 11111 is equal to what is the remainder? 30303. How many times? So 3 times. Inside of this 3 times it is having. So plus what is the remainder? 20202. Now the remainder again is not equal to 0. So again I am repeating. So I am writing this number here, 30303. What is the remainder? 20202. How many times it is? Only one time. So into 1 plus what is the remainder? 10101. The remainder is not equal to 0. Again I am repeating the same one. So I am writing the number here, 20202 is equal to, what is the remainder here? 10101. How many times? Exactly 2 times. So 2 times of 10101 is what? 20202. That means what? The remainder will be what? 0. As you get the remainder is 0, that divisor is called what? HCF. What is the divisor? 10101. So what is the HCF? 10101 is the HCF. Now we are going to discuss another problem. Let me read the problem first. If 13824 is equal to 2 power a into 3 power b, then find the value of a and b. Okay, let me start the solution. So I have written the given what 2 power a into 3 power b is equal to 13824. So since we are in the topic of what? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we can use what method? Prime factorization method to solve this sum. Okay, so I have taken the given number. What is the given number? 13824. Okay, I am thinking over about the first factor, that is prime factor. So since it's 4 ending with 4, definitely it must be divisible by what? 2. So first prime factor is 2, so I am dividing by 2. What I am getting? 6912. Again by 2 I am getting what? 3456. Again by 2 I am getting 1728. Again by 2 I am getting 864. Again by 2 I am getting 436. Again by 2 I am getting 216. Again by 2 I am getting 108. Again by 2 I am getting 54. Again by 3, again by what? 3 is another prime factor. So I am getting what? 27. So again by 3 I am getting 9. Again by 3 I am not getting things. So with this I have stopped 3. So 2 how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times of 2. 1, 2, 3. 3 times of 3. So this 13824 can be written as 2 power 9 into 3 power 3. So by comparing this with the question, what I am getting? In the place of a what I am having? 9. In the place of b what I am having? 3. So therefore a is equal to 9, b is equal to 3, which concludes this sum. Now we can see another problem. Let me read the question first. If p1 to the power x1 into p2 to the power x2 into p3 to the power x3 into p4 to the power x4 is equal to 113400, where p1, p2, p3, p4 are primes in ascending order and x1, x2, x3, x4 are integers. Find the value of p1, p2, p3, p4 and also x1, x2, x3, x4. Now let me proceed this sum. So as we all know that we are going to follow what method only? We are going to use prime factorization method. Okay, so let me take that number 113400. So I am taking with the first factor, that is my second, I am taking a number 2. Okay, if I take by 2, what I will get? 56700. Again I am using my another factor 2. So I am getting what? 28350. Again I am taking by 2. I am getting 14175. If I take with 3, I am getting 4725. Again by 3, I am getting 1575. Again by 3, I am getting 525. Again by 3, I am getting 175. Now I am taking another factor 5. I am getting 35. Again with 5, at last I am getting what? 7. So here we are observing that all the factors which we have taken are what? Prime factors. They are all prime numbers. So that how I can write this number? That is 113400 can be written as what? 2 power 3, because here 2 occurs how many times? 3 times. So 2 power 3 into 3, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. So 3 power 4 into 5 how many times? 2 times. So 5 power 2 into 7 only one time, 7 power 1. Okay. So here in the question itself they have given this condition. Okay. So I am going to compare my answer with this part. So what I am getting P1. So instead of P1 place what I'm having 2. So P1 is equal to 2. Instead of P2 place what I'm having the number 3. So I'm having 3. In the same way P3 is 5. P4 is what? 7. And also we can talk about the powers. What is power here? X1. What is the power here? 3. So therefore x1 equal to 3. So x2 in the place of x2 what I'm having? 4. So x2 is equal to 4, x3 equal to 2, x4 is equal to 1, which completes this sum. Now we are going to see another different problem. Let me read the problem first. Find the LCM and HCF of 408 and 170 by applying the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So what are the two numbers? 408 and 170. For those two numbers we are going to find both LCM and also HCF. So first we want to know about LCM. What is the definition of LCM? The least number which is divisible by each of the given number without remainder. The least number which is divisible by each of the given number without remainder. Okay. So what do you mean by HCF? The greater number. LCM means least number. HCF means what? Greater number. The greater number which divides each of the given number without remainder. Okay. But we are going to use what method? Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. That is prime factorization method we are going to use. So first I am taking 408. First factor is 2. So 204 I am getting. Again I am taking by 2, I am getting 102. Again I am taking by 2, I am getting 51. Again I am taking by 3, I am getting what? 17. So 2, 2, 2, 3, 17. All the numbers are what? Prime numbers. My another number is what? 170. So I am taking by 2. Okay, I am dividing by 2. So what I will get? 85. Okay. So I am next factor with 5 I am trying. So how many times? 17 times. So 2, 5, 17. All the three numbers are what? Prime numbers. So that means what? 408 can be written as what? 2 power 2 how many times? 1, 2, 3. 3 times. So 2 power 3 into 3 one time, 17 one times. Okay. So next 170 can be written as what? Product of prime numbers, that is 2 into 5 into 17. What do you mean by HCF? Highest common factor. Okay. So here we have 2. Here also we have 2. Okay. Then we have 17 here. We have 17 here. So these are the common factors we have. So those 2 and 17 can be multiplied. 2 into 17 is what? 34. Now we are going to find what? LCM. LCM means what? Least common multiplier. So the maximum. Okay. So 2 power 3. So 2 how many times maximum? 3 times. So 2 power 3 into, then what I am having? 3 also I am having. So I will write 3 also here. And 17 also I am having. So I will write 17. And also I am having 5. So I am writing 5. So if I multiply all these value, I am getting what? 2040. That is called what? Least common multiplier. That is LCM. Now we are going to see a last sum for this session. Okay. Let me read the question first. Find the least number. Note down this number, least. That is divisible by the first 10 natural numbers. The first 10 natural number. As we all know that what is meant by natural number? The number which starts from what? 1. Okay. So to find the answer for this sum, what I want to do is, see here, note down this word least. That means what? least means LCM, okay, least common multiplier. Okay, so to find the answer for this sum, what we need to do is we want to find LCM of first 10 natural number. Okay, such a way I have written my first 10 natural numbers, namely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In a usual method of finding LCM, I have found LCM here. Okay, so what would be my LCM? My LCM is equal to what? 2 into 3 into 2 into 5 into 7 into 2 into 3. So if I multiply all these value, what I am getting? 2520. My answer is what? 2520. So what is my conclusion? 2520 is the what number? Least number, which is what? Divisible by first 10 natural numbers. Okay. Hope you all understood this sum.